Hello, allbrands.com here. I am Barbara.
And I'm Rosemary from the San Antonio All Brand store.
And with us we have
Louis Carney from Brother. And I'm an international educator, and we're talking about our newest top of the line in our sewing, quilting, and embroidery machine that's right step below our Luminaire. So this is the latest addition to the family.
and it
It's
has
very exciting.
It's very special. I think it's a little different from anything that Brother has ever come out with because it uses a smart device.
It can use any smart device that can accept an app. So phone, tablet, iPod, anything that you can download an app to. It needs to be Android or Apple. The app will be available August 1st, so you want to make sure to download it, and it will work with our sewing and embroidery or an embroidery-only combination.
And I think that embroidery-only combination machine is going to be the top-of-the-line, flatbed, embroidery-only machine on the market that has my design center
And a
included.
huge hoop.
9.5 by 14. So this is the app that you were talking about.
Yes,
right?
this is our smart app. This is Wi-Fi now because the machine does have Wi-Fi built into it. This is a security cable, guys.
Yeah.
This is not.
It's not plugged
It's
in
not
at
plugged
all.
in. This is just attached it. Sticky fingers. So we're just making sure they stay secure. However, the app will allow us to talk between the hoop, the machine, and the different functions in embroidery and my design center. So it's very cool technology in that the app will be able to detect the hoop and know which one you're using, also to determine the spacing, and it will have two different available modes during your embroidery feature to allow you to either position your design perfectly in your hoop, or you can use the automatic mode, which is using your positioning sticker. For those of us from Brother for a long time, you guys know it as the snowman.
So you can see I hooped it really crooked on purpose.
Intentionally with Brother, and this is with or without the app or without this machine, any of our machines that use our positioning sticker, you never ever have to hoop straight on a Brother, and your design will always come out exactly the way you want it using your positioning sticker. We're going to use the app. How about that? Okay, let's get started. So what we're going to do first is to, you want to download your app. The machine will actually guide you through the setup and step process and has a QR code to download the app. Otherwise, you
It's a
can...
lot easier than what I thought it would be.
Oh, it's
I
so
was
simple.
amazed.
Well, even if you don't go through that process, you can still visit your iTunes or your Play Store, and it will allow you to download the app and install it on any device. And we're going to simply go into the app. The first thing it wants us to do is hoop our fabric, which we've already done.
And I did it really, really badly.
And right now, once we sell it okay, since we have the positioning sticker on there, we're going to use what's called the advanced mode. So we're going to go to advanced, and now it says to put the sticker on the fabric, which we've done. We're in a ballroom in a convention center, so we have gigantic chandeliers, so the lighting in here is terrible. You won't have to do this at home, but we have to do it here because of the lighting.
Down here for
So
you.
we're going to go to our
Louis, do you know
app.
what this reminds me of? Have you ever deposited a check online?
Oh God, this is
It's
so much like
exactly
the
the
capture.
same.
So all I'm doing is holding my device above the hoop, and it's looking for the registration marks. Those are those black and white marks, right, that are there. You guys see those marks? Those marks are what it's looking for.
Yeah.
And so,
There's
again,
even levelers on the
that's how it
screen.
knows that it's going to do it correctly. You guys won't have to do this at home again, but we have weird lighting. So I'm having to, and I'm holding a security cable. So anyway, it's got a photo, and it snapped the photo, and it says, hey, do you want to send this to the machine? So yes, we're going to send it to machine. So we simply select send to machine. Once we tap send to the machine, it's then going to tell us, hey, it was successful.
pretty quick.
It's very, really depends on your Wi-Fi, but it goes really fast. Once you've done that, you're finished with your device at this point. You can set it aside. So we'll just pop up a design just so that we can position it on our hoop. So it lets me know that an image was sent over to the machine from the app, and it wants to know, do we want to use that? And we do. You have to have your hoop attached in order for it to do that, so we're going to simply tell it okay. Once we tell it okay, it's going to move our hoop into position, and then it's going to go and find your sticker. At this point, it wants to make sure that your sticker is perfectly lined up on the dot. Now, right now, there's a little black dot. See it in the little hole, and then there's one in the big hole, and it wants you to make sure you're lined up perfect. And can you see how I'm making sure that it's really perfect? The movement icons allow you to make sure that the red dot is on top of the black dot perfect, so that you know it's going to line up correctly. I'm going to tap OK because it's there. And ta-da. Well, our design didn't really move or do anything just yet. We need to be in our embroidery screen in order to do that. So we're going to tell it embroidery and go just as we have in the past to our positioning sticker, which is your snowman. It's going to set it up as normal and ask us, where do we want to base this design off of? We're going to base our positioning off the center, so we leave it on the center mark and simply tell it okay. It says it's going to move, so we let it move, and you'll notice that it jumped, positioned it, and moved it and rotated it exactly to where it's there. It says that it has been moved, it has been set, and we want to simply move our hoop towards us so that we can not have to stick our finger under to get our positioning sticker off. And now it is ready for embroidery.
Cool.
And that's your advanced mode using the sticker. You also have the option of using the similar mode in your easy mode, and the easy mode in the app is wants you to hoop your fabric, which we have. This now is no sticker, so without a sticker you're going to take another picture because this is completely new, right? So if you don't mind, I'll ask you if you'll hold that for me again, and you're going to do the same process where it's going to find your hoop. So we're going to go look for it, let it find it. It's holding 1, 2. It has a countdown, and it says 3, 2, 1. So now that it's got it, it says, okay, do you want to send this to the machine? So we'll just put the hoop back on the machine, and we'll send our new image to the machine. It's going to give me another pop-up to say, this was sent. There's a new image. Do you want to use this or update? Yes, that's okay. And now it's going to move, and we say okay. And at this point, it's like, oh, okay, now you're going to do your editing manual. You're going to determine where you want something to go. So if you say, oh, I would like to have it here, I can put position. I'm going to just magnify so you guys can see better. And then we can position it so that we're exactly where we want it to line up at in our hoop. From here, we're going to go into embroidery, and this would then again be done in the normal process of your embroidery mode. Now that, of course, is utilizing your designs that are built in on the machines or designs that you have saved or have gotten from a USB. We also can use the My Design Center in case we want to do a scan versus doing a embroidery that's built in.
Yes. So I had a thought. I was like, what if this is a quilt square and we want to place our quilting differently in one of the squares? Is that
Yes. Well, let's say, for example, we do want to like just quilt in this square right here. So again, the machine is going to need to know where that square is and how to get it to there. So we're going to simply tell it, oh, that's just acknowledging the previous screen. So now we're going to go down to the lower end section of your app in the My Design Center apps. We've hooped our quilt, and we need to scan it so it knows the position and tell it we want to stipple there. So this time we're still going to use a screen capture. So again, now these are different steps, guys, okay? Don't think that you do this for every project. This is as if we're doing 3 different projects. Project number 3. We're quilting now, and we want to quilt our quilt in that square area. So we need to get a new picture, right? So we're going to do the same process and get our new picture. 3, 2, and then 1. It's captured. Can't do that.
Okay.
And so we're going to put our hoop back on, and we're going to go to My Design Center. It's going to ask us, do we want to send it? And we do. And now when we get ready to send, it's going to tell us it's sent it to it, and it says sent to my design center. So you always know what part of the app you're working in. You're not confused and saying, oh, did it go to embroidery? Did it go to my... It tells you that it went to my design center. We're going to go to my design center. Now, in order to stipple or quilt or do anything, you have to define an area. Right now, this is our workspace, so we're going to give it a parameters in order to do a stippling in that area. Well, right now, I want to tell it I want a stipple and pull up my background, but I need to fill this in with a stippling. So I've just made a square to give it an idea and in my sizing. So we're going to actually pull up our background. We sent it Wi-Fi, so it's going to be in the Wi-Fi. It'll always be the top graphic, so we're going to choose the top one, and then it's going to load that into the machine so that I know where to position my stippling, right? That makes sense, everybody, right? Okay. So now that it's there, and I want to stipple in that area, I also now know what size I need to make this. So there, it's going to be selected. And we're going to simply go to rotate first. For me, that's a little easier. So we're going to rotate this, let's say 10, maybe 20.
And you can rotate in single degree.
And I actually have to.
0.1 degrees.
I have to get it. So what I'm going to do is make this square match the square in my fabric. We're going to move it down some so that it's kind of positioned. And then we will size this. So again, my rotation, I'm going to just do it by single digits so that my lines line up with my lines on my fabric. Now this square is too big, so we're going to go to size and we'll simply resize this so it fits inside of that area. So we'll just keep going, get it small enough to fit in that block. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so cool. So now I have it in that area. I need to fill that area with a stipple. So we're going to tell it we want to add a stippling pattern, or we could quilt with one of the many built-in patterns. Isn't that great?
Okay, so that's Rosemary's favorite.
So we have some of these different fill patterns. You know, you don't have to quilt with a simple stippling pattern. You can quilt with some of the cool built-in patterns.
I love that.
We'll choose this one. How about that? It's red, and so we'll say okay. Yep, you have up 15 there to there, and then with P Design 11 software, you're able to create your own fill patterns. So you can make your own. So right now I have it set with that pattern. I'm going to tell it to fill that space with it, and let's see what it looks like in real time. So we're going to get the chance to see what this is going to look like as if it were a real pattern. We're going to go to preview so that we could make any alterations if we need to. And we're going to just go ahead and let it upload. And there's my beautiful pattern, perfectly placed in my block. I intentionally left the black satin box on so you guys could see it and see that it lines up exactly in the space that I want to do my design pattern in.
Gorgeous.
Isn't that cool?
It is cool.
And how easy was that? I mean, it's 1, 2, 3.
And you know what else I love about this machine is that it has the linear interface.
Oh, so nice in that respect. So this is
top of the line interface.
and so it makes it very user friendly, and it's got a whole new look to the machine. You'll see it's got the new matte surface on it, so it's going to be your scratch free, and it's going to also prevent any glare or flashback. You still have over 11 inches from needle to arm. You have 6 inches high. So this machine is meant to handle heavy duty, big fabric. So if you're making a coat, you're making drapes, you're making anything big, it's gonna fit in there and you're gonna have plenty of space to work with.
Yes.
But let's see one other cool thing that you can do with my design center. Because there's more. Say, wait, there's more. We're going to go, and I'm going to go back to my app, and this time we can tell it I would like to use a graphic to go in there. So it just so happens that we have a lovely little graphic we're going to use, and I'm going to say, what if I wanted to put Mickey and not knock over everything? What if I wanted to put Mickey, say this was a coloring book, right?
Oh my gosh.
What if I wanted Mickey Mouse to go in there?
Okay.
So the first thing I'm going to do is take a picture of it.
So we don't need a map for this or anything.
Don't need a scan board, need nothing. You simply are going to, step one is to take a photograph, right?
Okay.
So we'll take a picture of it. So we'll just get them focused, take a picture. Yeah, that's how simple. Whatever pictures are in your gallery, you can access to use in your My Design Center app inside of the Snap app.
And so we can do a line or an illustration.
Once we get it over to the machine, we're going to tell it, it says, hey, here's your pictures. Which one do you want to use? We're going to send that one over to the machine. So we say, yes, go over to the machine. Now, keep in mind, just as with any of your major animation as well as your other artists, you have copyright stuff you have to keep in mind with that, okay? We're not selling this. This is a gift for the baby. So it tells me it was sent to My Design Center.
Do you know what I just thought with this? Taking a picture is a lot faster than scanning.
Oh, and you're going to have so much more clarity because your camera is going to be a much stronger camera than we could ever put in a machine because whatever the strength of your camera is
Some of
there.
the problems or some of the difficulties we had with the scanning and doing the Luminaire or the Green Machine, I think just it's going to be a lot better and easier doing it with the camera.
And
or
the
through your
line
software.
drawings.
And the line
So we
drawings,
can call it snap and sew, not scan and sew. Snap and sew.
And so now I'm going to pull up Mickey, and it says, oh, there's Mickey. What do you want to do with it? So for me, I probably would simply want to do something fun, like simply trace around him. You guys have to watch my finger because I have no stylus here right now. But normally I would have my stylus here. But what if this were a cute quilting pattern? I could make Mickey be the quilting pattern on my actual quilt. So I'm just tracing around Mickey, because right now it's a background. And so there he is. I'm going to make the image disappear. So now I have this as an actual stitch, and I'm going to actually make it have a more interesting stitch pattern. So we're going to go and choose my little favorite one, candle wicking. I'm going to choose that one, and I'm going to tell it to please make that one into a candle wicking. And we're going to preview it and see what it looks like. And there's my Mickey Mouse and candle wicking. Isn't it the cutest? Look at his little tail. Now I can return and I can resize this so it could fit down right into my block because I can open that image back up. So we'll simply select it and make sure he's all caught. We're going to go and size him and bring it way down so it will fit into that. We can rotate it. You have so many design options here. Between the over 700 built-in embroidery designs in the machine, the over 150 built-in shapes that are in the machine. In the machine, you have over 1 million embroidery possibilities built in the machine.
Oh my gosh.
That's without scanning, that's without anything. The machine, of course, is Wi-Fi, so you can still go to Google, go to images, and go to clip art. And how many images are in Google? Limitless, right?
Yes.
So you have limitless embroidery.
Snap and sew.
It's so
She's going
cool.
to hear first.
It is so cool. So
It's a
I'm going
snap.
to just go here. We'll rotate them. We'll tell them okay. We'll open up the graphic again so that we have it as a background image. That will then give us the fabric. We're finished with our app now, so we can simply set our device down. We'll set this into place, and that's then going to put that in our motion to go in so that we know where our size is. We could change the shape, we could change the pattern. We'll preview, tell it okay, and then we'll pop this into our embroidery screen. And once we go into, it says update the image. Yes, we do. So now I know Mickey can go right inside of my box.
Oh,
Is that the coolest thing you ever saw?
I love
And
it.
fast and easy, that's the thing about it. It's fast and easy. And of course there are tutorials built in on the machine. So all of this stuff that sounds like, oh my God, this is also overwhelming, watch the video. We have our YouTube channel for this machine, which has videos. And of course, you always have the wonderful support of all brands, as well as brothers standing behind you. You can call us, you can email us. You're gonna have so much help with this.
Yes.
Very exciting,
I
right?
agree. So
Look.
can we look a little bit at some of the designs?
Oh gosh, yes,
Oh my
they've
gosh,
added so
because
many
they are
names.
gorgeous. They are beautiful.
So we've added new embroidery designs.
So these are just the this is categories and this is categories,
Well,
right?
these are we're in number 1, which are your embroidery categories. It wants to know what subcategory you want to select.
Yes.
So behind each of these, there are embroidery collections.
Oh my gosh. And you know what I love about this? So it's the, let's go back because like if you go to one with like a lot in there, maybe like a Disney. You can, oh, I'm sorry. Let's see.
You can see all the different pull dots and scroll to see them, and it's a drag to be able to see them and scroll. These are now the difference between your double A's and your A's here. While we're here, I'll just point it out is that these are typing letters.
Got
so
it.
this is meant to write out paragraphs, write out things. These are your monograms. So these are meant to be monograms. This is one of the most gorgeous ones. They're very faint right now, but these are candle wick satin stitch with the little candle wicking on them. So if you have to do some monogram linens or monogram towels, wedding gifts,
Oh my gosh.
they're just gorgeous. It's just beautiful things. So you have a ton of embroidery collections. And of course, the most funnest thing that we have is Disney. We still have Disney. They did not take Disney away.
Yes.
So you've got really cool things. You can even put your decorative stitches and your buttonholes in the hoop on this machine.
Yay.
So you've got tons of really cool things that have been added into the machine to really enhance your embroidery designs. Of course, if you want more, we do have iBroidery.com
Yes.
where there are more different Pixar as well as Disney designs that you're able to purchase and download into the machine. You can download them direct to your USB to save them. So information on the machine is transferred either USB, or you can use it also to transfer your information through your Wi-Fi.
Yes.
So very cool. Working with PE Design 11 as well as the built-in ones, you have unlimited design capabilities.
Yes, and you have options too. So there's a combination
If you
sewing and
wanted to
embroidery.
sew or embroider, you can have one machine. Or if you already have a great sewing machine at home, you're interested in embroidery, but you needed a bigger embroidery field, we have an embroidery-only version of the machine that will use this large hoop.
Or if you're like Rosemary and I, and you already have an awesome combination machine, but you want to have two going at the same
Two is
time.
going
Well,
at
if
the
you got a
same
big
time, it's
project,
really awesome.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
What if you're working on a quilt and you need to have like this block and this block, and you know you got 30 blocks to do, cuts down on half the time, right? To be able to have both of them going.
Because the soccer team's calling.
Yeah. Soccer's
Double your production.
Football's calling.
Yes.
Well, thanks so
love
much
it.
for having me and let me showcase this machine to you. It's one of my favorite. It's our newest, and I'm just very excited about it. I think it has unlimited possibilities, and it's just going to grow from here. So you'll have a lot of fun with it.
Thank you, Louis.
Thank you so much. We
Yes.
appreciate it.
Thank you everyone for watching. If you liked this video, please click the thumbs up below and subscribe. You can visit our website www.allbrands.com, and we have these machines listed along with all of our 7 locations where they can be purchased. Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.